Dr. Moshelos here with Music and Medicine, excited to be at K-Flow here celebrating some of the music of R&B, and we are more than honored to be joined by Anja Nissen. She won season 3 of The Voice Australia, and your voice is so amazing. We really so appreciate you joining us today.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.
So we have to go back to the beginning a little bit. What attracts you to this style of music? I've heard you sing songs by people like Aretha, and it's just amazing that you really embody the sound so well.
You make me feel like an natural woman.
Oh, well, I think it really started like from a young age. My dad was a DJ, so I grew up like listening to a lot of different styles of music at home. But I just gravitated to like, I guess the R&B side, but more like just emotion and dynamics in music. So singers like Celine Dion, Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, even like Toni Braxton, Stevie Wonder. Like a lot of those artists really spoke to me through their music because I felt like they were so dynamic. So that's the artist that I wanted to become.
Sure. And talk to us about sort of growing up in Australia, and I know you were in a place where you could sort of resonate as much as you wanted there in the woods, and sort of what that sort of brings to your special vibe and sound.
I think I was like definitely lucky to grow up in an area where there was nobody around, so I could sing as loud as I want, and yeah, I really loved getting out and singing off the top of the cliff. But I think that really gave me like a groundedness, and I don't know, sometimes when I'm on stage, I like to imagine that I'm standing outside singing. So I think there's like an authenticness that comes through my singing. I like to like speak when I'm singing, and you like a strong use of dynamics as well when I'm singing. Yeah,
absolutely. I wanted to go back to sort of the beginning of being on The Voice. All 4 chairs turn around. How surreal or unimaginable was that moment?
Crazy, like super crazy. When I think back on it, I think like, wow, was that a dream? The whole experience, winning, but yeah, 4 chairs turning, and they like gave. When I look back at the footage, I got a standing ovation for every performance that I did from all 4 judges, which was like insane. So yeah, it was a really out of body experience. I was so young as well, like 18. But yeah, it was an amazing acknowledgement of how hard I had worked leading up into that moment.
Absolutely. What were some of the pearls that you feel you walked away and working with somebody like will.i.am?
Oh, the pros. Definitely, I learned so much from that experience, being signed to the record label, having management, and yeah, a lot of the pros, getting into that world so quickly, like fast tracking to like this, elite level for, that period of time, really taught me a lot about myself and as an artist, who do I want to be? And there's been a lot of growth and change throughout that period of my life. But that really helped me like solidify who I am and ask those kind of tough questions. But yeah, really grow and get so much experience, like the amount of performance opportunities that I've received from that, and also being able to say like, when I moved to America, being able to say that I won The Voice Australia has been such a calling card, that's so internationally recognized, that has helped me get through a lot of doors when maybe if I was coming here and I hadn't done the show, people wouldn't necessarily know my credentials. So that's definitely helped me.
Absolutely. Talk to us a little bit about some of the challenges, because of course many times when people complete this, then things can get really rocky and complicated. What are some of the things that you learned from that or had to sort of overcome in sort of the afterflow of the show?
Yeah, I think finding myself and like I said, you go through like so many challenges when you're on the show, and there is a lot of press, I guess, with the show. So again, coming into yourself, being sure of yourself, your artistry. I also moved to Denmark, so I was living in Denmark for a while, then I moved here. So like, I think a challenge has been deciding which country I feel at home in, and I would love to stay in America. So that's like what I'm working towards. But yeah, it's definitely challenging. Tell me about it, like paying my rent each month. Like, you know, it's real. It's
Right.
to be releasing new music continuously, and you know that costs money. It costs
Sure.
a lot of money. But you know, if you really want to do this, that's like how you've got to do it. You've got to get out there and you've got to be seen and you've got to give it everything. And that's what I'm really trying to do.
Absolutely. You're a very young artist. What are some of those encouragements you might feel for someone who's really truly just starting out and hasn't been on
Yes.
such a big show, on such a big platform before?
Yeah, my advice would be to really educate yourself as much as you can with things online about the music industry. Don't just like go for anybody that like believes in you. Really like check who you decide to work with.
100,000 dreams before, now I finally realize. See, I've waited all my life for this moment to arrive. And finally, I believe.
Listen to your heart, listen to your gut. Like you'll know straight away if something doesn't feel right, or if you're heading down a path that maybe artistically isn't yourself. Really go back to your roots, like, because I had that experience as a child, like where I had a few people tell me like, oh, you know, singing those Celine Dion songs is so out of date, or like it's so, that style is boring, or you know, you should do more pop, or you should do more like even like hip hop kind of style. And I was like, oh, no, that's not me. And it's taken me like a full 360 to come back around and go, no, there's a reason why I sing the ballads, and that's because I'm good at it, and that's what I succeed at.
Thank you.
So stick to what you're good at, stick to what you know, and that's how you're going to excel, and stick to what makes you different and unique.
Absolutely. On that note, when you were doing performances like some of Beyonce's songs and things like that, did you notice though that the audience really liked that you could have that versatility?
Yes, for sure. Yeah, definitely. That's when I would shine. But also I had like a point to prove with myself, like when I did Irreplaceable on The Voice. That was definitely like a challenge, because I had to have this attitude, and like at 18 it was like, how much life experience do you really have to draw on at that age, like of, you know, and I really went for it. When I watched that performance, I go, whoa, I was
That's some
some
sass.
things had happened prior to that performance that
you
I will
could
not
pull
mention, that
into.
I was like they had changed my costume
Sure.
on the day.
Oh, wow.
And there was like the whole performance got changed on the day, like in the
Wow.
very last minute. So I was like, ooh, like I've had it, and
You
I'm just
could
going to
relate.
put all of that energy into this performance, like, because that's what I had to draw on, and that's what I did.
Sure. Walking into the studio with will.i.am and just trying to draw some wisdom from him, what do you feel you walked away with from that experience?
And we're like, oh, it's so long ago now. But, oh, definitely, he taught me to, like, work hard. He's got one of the strongest, most insane work ethics I think I've ever seen. Being, you know, he'd arrive at the studio at like 9, and then he's leaving at 4 a.m. So it's just these ridiculously long days, and yeah, just like constantly something, going for something. So I think what he really taught me was, yeah, just to like continue putting yourself out there and take risks, take chances, like do something different, be unique.
Sure.
Yeah.
Our show's called Music and Medicine. When you hear those words together, what do they mean to you?
Music and medicine. Ooh. I think the healing power that music has, and the, you know, how music can really soothe your soul and speak to you in so many different ways. And that's what I feel music has done for me. Sometimes when I've been alone and felt like I have nobody in the world, I've always had music, and it's always soothed and been my medicine.
Absolutely. Well, we certainly appreciate having all the music, all the passion that you bring, the soul, as well
Thank
as
you
just
so
the heart
much.
that comes across in
Aw,
all your
thank you.
performances. So thanks so much.
Oh, that's so sweet of you.
Appreciate you
Thank
joining
you.
us. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Sure.